Why ancient Egyptians did mummification? Ancient Egyptians practiced mummification, the process of preserving the bodies of the deceased, for several reasons, primarily rooted in their religious beliefs and the concept of an afterlife. Here are some of the main reasons behind the ancient Egyptians' preservation of dead bodies. Belief in the afterlife. Ancient Egyptians had a strong belief in an afterlife and the continuation of existence beyond death. They believed that the soul, or ka, needed the body to survive in the afterlife and experience a pleasant and eternal existence. Importance of physical body. Egyptians believed that the physical body was essential for the soul's journey in the afterlife. They believed that the body needed to be preserved as a vessel for the soul and that the soul would eventually reunite with the body. Role of the ka, an individual's life force or spiritual double, required sustenance from offerings and could revisit the body in its preserved form. The mummified body served as a locus for the ka's nourishment and connection with the mortal realm. Symbolic preservation. Mummification was seen as a way to honor and respect the deceased. The preservation process was seen as a ritual act, ensuring the deceased would be recognized and respected in the afterlife. Preparation for the journey. Mummification involved specific rituals and religious ceremonies that prepared the deceased for the journey to the afterlife. The process included the removal of organs, dehydration of the body, and the application of oils, resins, and wrappings to preserve the physical form. Fear of desecration. Egyptians believed that the body could be desecrated or destroyed after death, which would endanger the individual's chances of a successful afterlife. Mummification aimed to protect the body from decomposition and potential harm. Social status and prestige. Mummification was often associated with higher social classes and wealth. Affording the process and a lavish burial was a sign of status and served to emphasize the individual's importance in both life and the afterlife. Overall, the preservation of dead bodies through mummification in ancient Egypt was deeply intertwined with their religious beliefs, ideas about the afterlife, and cultural practices. It served as a means to ensure the deceased's continued existence, protection, and spiritual journey beyond death. Is pyramid haunted? The concept of pyramids being haunted or associated with supernatural phenomena is mostly based on legends, folklore, and popular culture rather than factual evidence. While pyramids, especially the Egyptian pyramids, are steeped in mystery and hold a significant cultural and historical significance, there is no scientific or historical evidence to support the claim that they are haunted. Pyramids were monumental structures built by ancient civilizations for various purposes, such as serving as tombs for pharaohs and housing funerary rituals and offerings. Their construction involved careful planning, engineering, and religious significance. The belief in an afterlife and the preservation of the deceased's body was central to Egyptian culture, but it does not necessarily mean that pyramids are haunted or inhabited by spirits. Haunted pyramid stories have often been perpetuated in fiction, movies, and urban legends. These tales often add an element of mystery and intrigue to the pyramids, contributing to their allure and captivating the imagination. However, it is essential to differentiate between mythology and historical facts when considering such claims. If you visit pyramids today, you will find them as archaeological sites and tourist attractions, where visitors can explore their historical and architectural wonders. While they may evoke a sense of awe and wonder, any reported hauntings or paranormal activities associated with pyramids are not supported by scientific evidence or historical records. What are these jars? During the mummification process in ancient Egypt, jars called canopic jars were used to store and protect the organs of the deceased. The canopic jars were an essential part of the mummification ritual and had specific purposes. Here's an explanation of the purpose of each canopic jar. Embassy jar. This jar had a human-headed stopper and was used to hold the liver of the deceased. Embassy, represented by the jar, was one of the 4 sons of Horus, the protective deities associated with the internal organs. Embassy was believed to be responsible for preserving the liver, which was considered crucial for the afterlife. Happy jar. The happy jar had a baboon-headed stopper and was used to contain the lungs of the deceased. Happy, another of the four sons of Horus, was associated with the north and protected the lungs. The lungs were considered important because they were believed to be the place where emotions and feelings originated. The Amutef jar. This jar had a jackal-headed stopper and was used to hold the stomach and lower intestines. The Amutef, one of the four sons of Horus, protected the stomach and intestines. These organs were removed during the mummification process as they were thought to decay rapidly and were not considered necessary for the afterlife. Kebe-Senuf jar. The Kebe-Senuf jar had a falcon-headed stopper and was used to store the gallbladder and sometimes the upper intestines. Kebe-Senuf, one of the four sons of Horus, protected the intestines and the gallbladder. These organs were also removed during mummification because they were not deemed vital for the afterlife. The canopic jars, with their protective deities and specific organs, were placed in the tomb alongside the mummified body of the deceased. They symbolized the preservation and protection of the vital organs needed for the journey to the afterlife. The organs were believed to be necessary for the deceased's spiritual existence in the next world, while the canopic jars themselves served as vessels to safeguard these organs.